What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here. I hope everybody's having a fabulous Tuesday. We're going to take a look at the charts. I'm going to show you why I believe we could be in a multi-year bull market and why I believe we could hit 46,000 by the end of the year. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin in the longer and then shorter term, and we're going to do the same with LITECOIN. So stick around for the whole video. You don't want to miss it. Also, I want to remind you guys in the description below the video, there's a 100% free Discord group, best community in crypto, bar none. Check it out. There's also some affiliate links in there that really help support the channel, guys. It helps me keep this content free. So check those out if you can use them. That's great. And let's get into the charts. All right, guys, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market only. Anybody that's doing any trading or investing in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market is extremely volatile and risky. Also, keep in mind it's still a speculative market. Do not put in more than you're willing to lose. And with that being said, if you want daily updates, hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand side of the screen. Then tick the notification bell. That'll notify you when I post videos. Also, when I go live, as I do lives a couple times a week. Also, guys, give it a giant thumbs up. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. And let's get into it. All right, so we're looking at Bitcoin on the weekly. I want to point out real quick that I believe this is the cycle that we're in. If you look at 2011, where I have it marked as 1, I believe that was just like 2017. And then in 2012, which is marked 2 and circled here, I believe that's where we're at in the cycle. This gets us up to 46,000 by 2019. And then you can see it continues to 2021. I do believe that is most likely what's happening, guys. And I believe it's going to be a great couple of years. So I know a lot of people are comparing 15 and 16 or 16 and 17 to where we're at now. I do not believe so. If you can see here, it's looking a lot like 2012. And I'm going to show you, as you can see here, you had, after the 2012, you had 2012 and 2013 had a mad rush up, and I do believe that's what's happening here. And we're going to go into the charts real quick and show you why we still have time to hit 46,000 by the end of the year. I'm going to show you over here first. And if you look at this little bull flag I have drawn in here, this went from August to September. And when we broke out in September, we went up 98% by November. If you look at where I have the bull flag here, we are in September. If we break out here, the measured move of this bull flag is 20,000, about 20,500, somewhere in there. And if you look at this trend line I have drawn here, that gets us there in about November, which matches up perfectly with over here. And that's about an 85% increase. Then if you look from November to December, we had 146% increase, which went from 8,000 all the way to 20,000. And if we look over here, if we reach the 20,000 by November, it would only take 121% increase to get us to 46,000. Again, we had 146% increase there. Also, I want to point out, you can see the volume is declining big time while we're in this formation. I'm going to go to the RSI and show you what I've been looking at. Looking at this as a falling wedge, I do believe we are going to have a breakout, most likely this week. And it's, through the end of September, I think it's going to be a nice run up. Let's go into the daily and take a look at the price action first. And I'll show you my other targets. All right, so looking at this as a bull flag, which I still am. And keep in mind, guys, it is possible that we still go down to the $7,000 range would remain in this green. And like I've said before, I don't care what happens in this green. I do believe we are going to break upwards out of this bull flag. I think this is a lot less likely. It's more probable to break up from here, but let's look at the volume on the daily. You can see it's declining big time while we're in this bull flag. We most likely are going to get a big green candle if we break out of this and get some huge volume. Keep in mind, when we do break this, we'll most likely come back down to retest it. But let's look at the targets. The first target would be measuring the bull flag as a descending channel. And if we took the measured move off that, that gets us up to about the 15,000 range. The next measured move is measuring this as the flagpole. This is a big flag. And 17.4 is the target there. Now these will be points of resistance, I'm sure, on the way up. Let's go into the RSI. Looking at the RSI, you can see I have the descending wedge here that we broke out of, and we're coming back down to test. I do believe we might go down a little bit more today, and I'll show you my targets. Let's go into the 4 hour. Whoops. Get back over here. Looking at the 4 hour, as you can see, I had a falling broadening wedge that we broke out of here. Looks like we've had some bear traps right here. I do believe it's possible we go down a little bit more. What I'm looking at now is a falling broadening wedge again. And if we break, as you can see, I had a falling channel here. If we break back inside this, we could be coming back down to test one of these lows. We'll look at that in the price action and see. We'll look at my price targets here also. All right, so looking at this falling wedge, if we were to move up from here, the measured move of that would be about the $11,000 range, $11,050. But I do see us most likely coming down a little bit more, and I'll show you why. Looking at this as an A, B, C correction, and if we took A, moved it over to B, that gets us right around the 98.52. I know I had this at 99.20, I think it was, but I've moved it down since. I do believe we could have, we look at what's going on here, could have another touchdown here and then, you know, break out of the wedge. Obviously, falling wedges usually break up, and the measured move off that, if we broke out down in this area after, like I said, after another touchdown here, and we broke out in this area, the measured move would get us up to that $11,000 range. And looking at that $11,000 range, could be looking at this as a inverse head and shoulders. And if that does play out like that and we break the $11,000 range, which I have it at about 10,940. But if we were to break that, the measured move of the inverse head and shoulders would be measuring the head, bring it up to the neckline, and that gets me to the 12,500. So I believe that's most likely our first stop when we break the bull flag, and then we may come back down, retest it, and then off to the races. That's what I'm looking at with Bitcoin. Let's look at Litecoin. Looking at, whoops, this is not Litecoin. There we go. Looking at Litecoin. I'm going to show you the same thing. It's matching up just like Bitcoin. You can see back in here in September, we had a big drop in Litecoin. This was a 65% drop. Same thing in 2017. Everybody was saying Litecoin was dead. And you see what happened after that. Same thing's going on now. We've had a 56% drop, and everybody's saying it again. Litecoin's dead. I do not believe so. And we'll look at what happened here. From this move, from this peak we had here back in August 2017, the move by December was 328%, which got Litecoin up to $420. Now, if you look at where we're at now and the measured move off of here, from August to December would be 300%. If we just put it, this one was 320. This is 300. Just if we got 300, it would be about $580 range. So, whoops. Yeah, that's what I think is going on with Litecoin, guys. I do not think that Litecoin is in trouble. Although it could go down a little more. I don't see it happening, but it definitely could. But I've been looking at this as a cup and a handle with the neckline of 146, and the measured move of the break of that 146 would be 270. Now let's go into the daily RSI. All right, the daily RSI, I've been looking at this. We had a rising channel, fell out of it in a falling channel. Then I have this falling broadening wedge in here, which we have popped out of. I also had inside that, we had a falling wedge that we popped out of here. But I do believe we could come back up here, test this top of this falling channel. If we break that, we're going to have a nice move up. Let's look at, damn it, sorry about that. Let's look at the 4 hour and then we'll go into the more immediate price. So looking at the 4 hour, we've had this falling channel here we've broken out of. We could come back down, test this resistance for support, and continue up. Let's look at the price action. And excuse me, these are the lower targets where we should have support if we even go down there. I'm going to move this one up a little bit now. So what I'm looking at here, get rid of this. Actually, no, I'm not going to get rid of that. All right, so I have the next measured move to $75 range. As you can see, the EMAs have crossed my 8, my 13, and my 21 have crossed my 55 here. That's bullish, guys. I do believe we're most likely headed up to the 75 range, which would be the top of this larger falling broadening wedge. If we are to break that, I have some measured moves of that too. Let's look at where we're at now. Okay, so measuring this from this breakout here as a flagpole and the break of that, which I do believe we've done, and we came back and retested the top of the flag, that gets us up to that $75 range. Now, if that range breaks, the measured move off that is the measured move of this smaller descending channel in here, and we measure the channel to where it broke out. That gets us up to the $81 range, $81 to $82. And then most likely, if we break up out of this, go back so you can see it again, this falling broadening wedge, most likely break out here and then probably come back down for a retest before continuing up. And the measured move, the break of that is the width of the wedge here. Bring it up to the top. That gets us up to around the 172 range. So that's where I see us at. And then we move on to our bigger targets that we were looking at earlier. So definitely a possibility. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at with Litecoin, guys. I don't think Litecoin's in any danger at all. Neither is Bitcoin, in my opinion. If you guys liked the video, definitely click the Crypto Savvy logo above my head. That'll get you subscribed to the channel. Tick the notification bell. Get you notified. Smash those likes. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys either tonight or tomorrow. Take it easy.